The covert contracts between men and women. Hello, my name is Chengi. I am your dating and relationship expert here at the Black Swan Relationship Academy, where I teach you ladies how to present as a high value, high status, high worth woman that high quality men find completely irresistible. If that sounds anything like you are on the right channel. And today we are going to be discussing the covert contracts that men and women make. So what is a covert contract? A covert contract is a contract that is unspoken. It's that unspoken communication between a man and a woman. Things that are understood between a man and a woman that are never really said. And often many of us are dating with covert contracts, and a lot of men are dating with covert contracts. Sometimes as ladies, we are signing covert contracts without actually knowing that we have done that. And so I want to talk to you today about the covert contracts between men and women around sex and money, okay? And I just want to talk about how you can really be powerful and be elegant and still a high value feminine woman that every high quality man wants, with and managing those situations as they arise. Okay, so this is some of this stuff. Some men, if not most, really walk around with these sexual covert contracts. What does that mean? It means that I'm going to spend a certain amount of money on you, and I expect that by the time I have spent up to my budget, I will be able to get into your drawers. I will be able to sleep with you. These are not things that are said, but with every guy, he has a budget. He has a limit as to how much he will spend, for how long, in terms of his, certainly including time and attention, but usually money before he gets what he wants. And so most girls, because some of us are naturally feminine, or some of us have just always been black swans and love to be treated well, we never really believe or think that because you've bought me something super expensive, you are expecting something in return, or because you've planned a wonderful date, that therefore, you're gonna have something in return. But I want you to be conscious that this guy may not be conscious of it, but this is a covert contract that is going on. And so if you find that a man is asking you to go away on a weekend quite early, so this is something that happened and tends to happen to me a lot, because naturally how I present, I'm not the kind of girl you're just going to jump into my knickers because you bought dinner and you planned a date, right? What you do get is my fantastic non-sexual attention. You get to spend some time with somebody who's super cool, who's just a great person to be around, who's feminine, and I get to look fantastic and just be really, really good company. Okay, I believe that that is more than enough for somebody who plans a great date, and it is absolutely more than enough for somebody who is looking and is relationship ready. Men who are relationship ready are not carrying the same type of covert contracts. They do have a covert contract, and that is to put in the best effort to secure the girl, to compete for the girl, to make sure that they are always on her mind, that he is her first choice, that she is available and receptive to him. Usually he wants that receptivity to be for him only. He is not entitled to it. He puts in the work for it. And really, the covert contract that he's having is, if I continue to prove myself, show up and be a hero, a champion for this woman, she will eventually choose me for something significant. So we're all carrying covert contracts. That doesn't mean that you've signed that contract, but often these are the contracts that we are being given. And for a man who's relationship ready, he's usually had all the sex that he wants to have with all the different women, and is at this point in his life where he's really not hunting for sex as much as he's hunting for that companionship and that soulmate, and that companionship that he now wants to build a posterity and a legacy with somebody special. And so his contract is going to be different from the average guy who is not necessarily ready. And so we have to be aware that Often when that payment goes through, there is an expectation of something. What I want you to understand is that it doesn't matter what covert contract he is running. It's about the contract that you have with yourself. It's about the values and the standards that you place for yourself. It's about the boundaries that you set for yourself. At the end of the day, he also has to sign your contract, right? What is your sexual contract? What are the terms of that? Because if you don't have one, you will be signing off on a lot of covert contracts. Covert contracts come in the form of let's Netflix and chill. He's not asking you to come and have sex. Of course, we understand what that means these days. But really, if you show up to his house, you have signed a covert contract. You have agreed on an invisible dotted line that the evening is going to end with you in his bed, or if he invites himself at a certain time to your home after 10 p.m., 11 p.m. We know that at this point, if you let him through the door, you have signed a covert contract. And so we need to be very careful about how we conduct ourselves so that we refuse to sign the contracts without knowing that we've done it. I did this a lot in my early dating years when I had no idea what I was doing, and I would find myself in these really crazy circumstances, like bizarre, and thinking to myself, how did I even get here? Because I was so naive that it was kind of like, would you like, oh, my apartment is just, over there. Would you like to come over and have a drink? And I was like, okay, or, you spent a great night with somebody, you've had a great time. And, then I'd find myself kind of in this situation where I'm kind of being expected to go further than I'm ready. And so I spent a lot of my early dating years after I got divorced really doing, no, thank you, no. And I didn't quite understand what was going on. And that was because by agreeing to going upstairs and being in a secluded space with him, I had signed a covert contract. I had agreed to, sign this contract. Guys you don't want you. And the ones you don't want simply won't leave you alone. They say you are picky and have impossible standards. Your partner has lost attraction for you and you have no idea if he will stay or progress the relationship. The harder you try, the further he pulls away. You are starting to think you are cursed, that there's something fundamentally wrong with you. The truth is, you are not uniquely broken. You are simply ill-informed, uneducated, and ill-equipped. All the things that can be fixed. I am offering you an all-access pass into the Black Swan Nation, where you will receive access to all of the courses, mentoring and coaching calls. We are also offering a 100% no quibble money back guarantee if the academy isn't a fit for you. What are you waiting for? Get smart, be educated, and level up. Do it absolutely right now by clicking the link below. Now, ladies, I have said this to my swans over and over again. Make sure that if you're ever going to accept an invitation to go somewhere far away with a man on a plane, or you have to catch a train, or you have to go far, that you have separate rooms. Okay, if it's his holiday, it's his invitation, he has to make sure that you are comfortable and you have separate rooms. If you decide to do whatever you want to do with this man, know that you had the opportunity and you created the opportunity for you to say no and to get your space and to get away if that was the case. So we need to be careful, because this happens, and it has been coming to me a lot, because we are sort of signing, if a man that you met says come over, I want to da 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 da, and you go over, you are signing a covert contract that you are low value, that he doesn't have to take care of, he doesn't have to make an effort, he doesn't have to cherish you, he doesn't have to protect you. All he has to do is call. And so you don't realize that when the relationship begins to unfold and you're being taken for granted and you're always the one making the effort, that you are subliminally signing these covert contracts. And so I am actually developing a course at the moment, which is a Black Swan playbook. Thank you to one of you who on the Instagram who suggested I call it the Black Swan playbook. Thank you. I'm actually creating this course, and it is really massive, but I'm going to be giving you all of the playbook for the Black Swan, all of the things we need to be careful about as we sign these covert contracts. And, you know, we too, as women, have covert contracts that we have with men. You know, we want that investment. We want, you know, to have that ring. We want to have these things. And one of the things that we need to learn to do is really communicate our standards without making him the guy who has to meet the standard. It's really important for the Black Swan to always state her standard for what she needs to be, what needs she has to be met before she can feel comfortable to let him in closer. It's really important for us to guard our hearts. It's really very important for us to be sober and conscious of the fact that behind the scenes, we're always all getting people to sign our covert contracts, and other people are getting us to sign theirs. Now, I've said this a lot on this channel. I've covered it in Nice Girl Rehab, but I really want you to know that people have other programs running in their heads, and if you know that everyone who is doing something for you, there is something they want to return, it's okay to receive from them, to take from them, if you are clear about the standard. So yes, thank you so much for buying me these beautiful diamond earrings. They're so lovely. I am so overwhelmed. You're so generous, and honestly, you don't have to do that for you to, you know, for me to like you, but I'm so thankful that you thought to do something so special for me. Thank you very much. This, you must understand, is not therefore his ticket into your bed. What is required at this point is for you to be aware that this is a gift. And at this point, the best thing I can do is say thank you, right? If you want to be in his bed, that has to be a separate conversation you have with yourself, with your standards, with your boundaries, or what it is that you want out of a relationship, in a situation that you're in that moment. But let us get ready to, you know, if a guy says, I'm going to take you out shopping and we're going to go shopping all day and we're going to, you know, buy you whatever and spend the day out buying you fantastic, wonderful things. You know, gifts are not my love language, but like I said, I look like the kind of girl who wants things. So yes, you know, so I will allow a man to invest in me, and yes, we can go shopping, etc. But that doesn't mean that I've signed a covert contract. That means that I am going to be very thankful, and I'm going to feel special, and my reward is to being great company and making you feel great as a man for taking that initiative. So we need to be careful, ladies, that whenever there's an exchange from men, when there's money on the table, investment of time, effort, money on the table, often there's also a ticking clock. And so it's really important that we move with integrity and honesty, never self-abandoning, always realizing that we are deserving, that we do deserve to be treated like the queens that we are, because we're good women with good hearts, and we bring so much purity and joy and fun and love to his life. We decorate his life. We make it better because we are there. And so it's perfectly okay for us to be treated like the queens that we are. And we don't need to sell ourselves for a loaf of bread because finally somebody has paid us attention and finally somebody wants to do something special for us. I know that for some of my swans, you've never really had this experience, and that this experience that I'm explaining feels like, I mean, do men still do that? Yes, they do. High value quality men do. And no, I am not talking about rich guys. I'm talking about a man who truly has self-worth, self-esteem, and knows his worth and knows what he wants. And especially if it's you that he wants, he is absolutely going to show up in the most incredible and amazing ways. He may not be able to take you to the Ritz or, you know, the kind of luxury 5-star experiences, but whatever he can afford to do, he's going to do it with all of his heart, and it's going to be perfect because you like him and he is making the investment. I hope that this video has helped you, my beautiful swans, and in the meantime, take care of you. Love you lots.